the next one I would like to talk about is lepidolite. Lepidolite, again, I mentioned this in one of my previous crystal videos, is that it's a crystal that I've just now been getting into because of its spiritual and emotional healing purpose. And with lepidolite, it's very good for people who have anxiety, and it's also, again, one of those crystals that you can place into a child's room. It's very soft, it's very gentle. It is a mica base, so it's very, very soft. But the thing that I started really loving about lepidolite is that it has this very like transparent, right? When we look at it like this, it's very sheen, iridescent, but once you hold it over a light, I don't know if you can see it, you can see how like transparent it is. I don't think you can see it, but it's very transparent. And so it comes in a variety of colors too. So there's a range from like lavender to lilac, and then to like almost a pale purple. And again, the lepidolite is good for people with anxiety, easing fear. I like to sleep with it under my pillow because I get a lot of really crazy dreams, especially in the past few weeks. I've been getting a lot of crazy dreams, and they're kind of like on and off, but they're actually more frequent than usual. And so I like to sleep with this little bit of light under my pillow. I think I also mentioned that in a previous video. I have a lepidolite and rose quartz cluster that I have in my son's room, and it works really well for kids who are very high energy. It's very calming, very loving. It's, again, an emotional healing crystal, and it does well with balance. So a lot like amethyst, it's also good for purification. It sends out energy that is in alignment with serenity, serene, relaxation, stress, and relief. It's connected to the water element. Lepidolite is a potassium and lithium aluminum silicate, and I'm reading this off of like a little thing that I have on the side. So I have a little book on the side, and it is most effective in calming frayed nerves. So again, anxiety, helping one to release stress and worry, and setting one on the path of willing acceptance. And so I was talking about earlier about being okay with where you are, right? Being okay with your purpose, not trying to find your grand purpose elsewhere, but looking within for your grand purpose. And this crystal is great for that. The crystal is really good for that. Let's see. It's also really good for when you're dealing with challenges, or you're at a point in your life where you kind of feel like there's a turning point, or it's just so hard that you have to separate yourselves to take care of yourself, right? So it also helps with people who just find themselves getting really angry really quickly too, right? Like frustration, people who are just constantly frustrated, and no matter how many times they try to ease their frustration or their anger, it's just never like resolved. And so when you're faced with a lot of frustrations in your life, either anger or constantly being triggered, being worried about your finances, losing a job, or relationship, or need to make major changes in a short time span, this is a good crystal for that. So it brings calm to stormy emotional seas, provides an energy of enlightened awareness that keeps one on the beam so one can handle the situation in highest way, preserving one's integrity and well-being. And so it's good with handling your emotions. And I would say, like, I actually really like working with this crystal. I like keeping it under my pillow. It is really nice, and it does help me sleep a little better at night. Oh, and then something interesting too, it helps to energetically curb hyperactivity and or attention deficit disorder. That's more on like a physical level. I've never had this experience, but this is what is in the books, and so something to share. Some of the affirmations that you can use with this crystal is: I move through all life's joys and sorrows, triumphs and traumas with serenity and grace. So it's about evening or leveling the kind of like playing ground for your emotions, right? Knowing how to come out of those triggers or those frustrations and being okay with it while not being irresponsible about your frustrations, if that makes sense. So, Lepidolite, very great crystal to work with. So there's that.